Sports Wrestling. Dave Brown right along ringside, ready to go with another big week championship wrestling. Son of a gun. Davey, as usual, I love what I see.
Boy, I tell you, we got some great folks here today. Lots of talent for championship wrestling action. Opening match is going to be featuring the Freedom Fighters, who we saw here for the first time last week. Many, many more people, as we'll see coming up here in just a moment.
Let's take a look at all of them right now.
Needless to say, I'm upset. Somebody stumbling away, slowly learning the fight is okay. Say up to me, it's so better to say something. Take on me, take on me, take on me.
Don't miss the all-new Hee-Haw, America's #1 comedy music variety show. Yes, Hee-Haw's brand new with fresh new features, new faces, and new wild and crazy fun for the whole family. Plus, brand new hits by country music's greatest stars that make Hee-Haw country's finest hour. So join Buck and Roy and the whole Hee-Haw gang. Y'all come!
Hee-Haw, Saturday night at 6 on Channel 7.
During Carpetland USA's Holiday Spectacular, Carpetland guarantees installation of your new carpet before the holidays, or we install it free and you make no payments until March of next year. That's spectacular. But that's not all. You'll save 25 to 50% on our entire stock. And just in time for the holidays, save on sculptured plush carpet of DuPont nylon, just $9.99 a square yard installed with pad. Nobody beats Carpetland.
Carpetland USA, 260 North Green River Road, Evansville, and 710 Salem Drive, Owensboro.
Keisters has what you're looking for and more.
Keisters at Christmas is the nicest place to be. There are decorations and ornaments, lots of beautiful things to decorate your home.
You don't have to wait for the after-Christmas sales because Keisters has light sets on sale now. Save 20% before Christmas when savings count the most.
Come to Keisters early while selection is still good and get your Christmas lights
on sale.
Keisters, the hardware store and more.
Hey, kids, here comes Scooby-Doo and Scooby's sidekick, the feisty Scrappy-Doo. In exciting all-new shows, plus lots of your old friends. Watch out, it's Scooby and Scrappy-Doo.
Join Scooby and Scrappy weekdays at 4 here on WTVW Channel 7, Evansville.
Okay, we're about ready to go with the action of championship wrestling. Standing in the ring right now, the Raiders, and that's a new tag team. Maybe you were here once before. Coming out, the big Freedom Fighters. And, brother, if you have not seen these guys before, let me tell you, you're looking at two specimens. The Freedom Fighters, Flash and Justice, Flash being Steve Borden. Dave and I were talking, perfect.
Yeah, Flash Borden. Yeah.
Okay. And the enforcer of the group, the 285-pound Jim Hellwig, who is known as Justice, Flash and Justice, going around shaking hands with the guys and gals that are gathered here for championship wrestling today.
Yeah. Meeting the crowd there. Good-looking team. Boy, look at the upper arms as they come around here. You talk about being in fine, fine shape. That team is right there as they step up under the ring apron. This will be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Introducing, first of all, from parts unknown at a total weight of 458 pounds under the mask, the Raiders. And going against them, total weight 545 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, and from California, Justice and Flash, the Freedom Fighters. One fall, 15-minute time limit. Freedom Fighters, Jim Hellwig, Steve Borden, referee Jerry Calhoun. Raiders jump them from across the ring, and we are underway.
And both Both of them down. There's a cover by Justice. 1, 2, 3, and that's it.
Well, I tell you, that didn't take long.
I think
9 seconds.
we have seen them twice on Championship Wrestling for a total of 42 seconds, I think.
That's about right. The Raiders made a critical mistake, and they tried to jump them. When you're looking at opponents across the ring that are that much bigger and also in that great a shape, as we had just mentioned on their way to the ring, you just don't do that. Well, the Raiders tried it, and they paid for it as the Freedom Fighters, Justice and Flash, Jim Hellwig and Steve Borden, take the win. Again, the time on it was 9 seconds.
Yeah, because the Raiders flipped across the ring before the bell was ever sounded. And promoter, Mr. Eddie Marlin. Eddie, good to see you out here. You're not, well, I don't want to make mention, but I got to tell you, Eddie, boy, I'm glad that's all over with.
Yeah, me too. I came out to answer some questions for the fans. A lot of them has asked me, why don't you fire Bill Dundee? But if I fire him, he's just gone, you know. This way I can keep booking him until somebody beats his Marines out, and I'll get to watch it. And that's what I'm looking for.
He got a hold of you out here. I mean, there's no question about it.
Yeah, he gave me the worst beating, I guess, I've ever had in my life. I'm overweight. Everybody knows it, me mostly. 5 years past retirement, and he whipped me just at his choice. But when I was in my prime, I could have stayed with Bill Dundee.
Hey, I don't have any doubt. Okay, Billy. We don't need you out here causing any kind of trouble, please.
Eddie, I don't want to stand and look at some piece of glass monitor. Tell me to my face how great I am, Eddie. You just tell me, you just admit to the world how great Bill Dundee is and how bad you are.
I didn't say that you was great. I'm not going to say you was great. I said that I was 5 years past retirement. I'm overweight, and you might say out of date.
You are, brother.
But in my prime, Bill Dundee, I could have stayed right with you, young man.
It was so easy last week, I gotta do it again.
Oh, come on, Billy. Good night. Will you get off on it? Come on, Bill. Come on here. Come on, Bill. Leave it alone. Guys, don't shoot me. Get somebody out here, will you? Well, let's take a break, and we'll be back here in just a moment. Okay, we're going to be back in the ring here in just a moment. Well, I got to tell you one thing. If that's proving you're a man, I didn't like it a bit. I'll tell you, I didn't like it one bit.
Well, I just beat Russell up and take over this show. That would be the right thing. You want to get beat up today? Well, I'm just saying. That's two guys that can really accommodate you. That was so easy, man. I figured I could have done that with one hand. Just tie one little hand there. I'll beat him up anyway. We got to be the baddest dudes in town. I believe I can whoop anybody walking on the face of this house. No, you can beat him with one hand tied behind you. Bill, I don't know who Eddie Marlin thinks he is, but you can whoop Eddie Marlin, one hand behind you, and a blindfold over your eyes. You can beat him. No, you can't say that would make it even. He thinks he is. He's admitted he's 5 years past his prime. That's right. He's overweight. He's out of date. He's in a young man's profession out here, and he's out here trying to push Bill Dundee around.
He wasn't trying. All he had guts enough to get in the ring at least.
Hey, if he kept his big mouth shut and hadn't said when he was in his prime he could have beat me up, I wouldn't have been mad.
He just said he could have stayed with you if he was in his prime.
Well, when was his prime? 1932 or what? Is that his prime?
Come on, let's not. We've had it, you know.
It's not going to be, but Bill Dundee stood right out here and said that he could beat me blindfolded and he could beat me with one hand tied behind me. I may be 5 years past my time, overweight, but I'm still a man, and that match will be signed, Bill Dundee. You'll tie your hand behind you and you'll put a mask on your face, and I'm going to get in that ring and see what I can do about evening up for this right here.
Yeah. It's going to be what?
I got his name on the contract. He'll either do it or all the fans will get what they want. He will be fired. Oh, no. You'll throw your weight around now, Marlin, right?
One prerogative.
I thought you was a man. Okay, Listen, I'm going to accept your challenge. I'll put the blindfold. I'll tie one hand behind my back. And you ain't going to fire me. You just leave their two big muscle-bound freaks in the dressing room, Daddy. You blindfolded me hard behind. You got it.
Yeah, well, you're the one that opened the mouth and said he could beat him with one hand behind his back and with a blind.
I didn't know anybody's going to come out and sign no match. That ain't fair, Marlin. So what he's saying is, if I don't wrestle him in them conditions, he's going to fire me.
That's what he said. That's exactly what he said.
Well, all I can say to you, boy, I hope you got a good lawyer.
Okay, Davey, enough of that. Let's head to the ring. We got action coming up here as the Sheepherders will be in here in just a moment for our next championship wrestling bout. That'll be an interesting match. I love that. Opens his big mouth, one hand tied behind it, blindfold on.
Yeah, that'll teach him maybe to watch what he says out here in the interview a little bit. Well, we're about set to go. It's one fall, 15-minute time limit match coming up here. All right, Jonathan, I'll bring the microphone up there in just a moment. Let me do the introductions first as we go along here. This is going to be one fall, 15-minute time limit. Introducing first across the ring at a total weight of 430 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, Ira Reese. From Japan, Tojo Yamamoto. On this side of the ring, from New Zealand, the Sheepherders. From Outer Mongolia, Taurus Bulba. And here's Jonathan Boyd with a microphone.
They don't want to listen to you. They want to hear Waltzing Matilda.
Yeah.
Bulba, come here and you sing Waltzing Matilda for them. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, here come a waltzing Matilda with me. And she sang as she walked and waited for her belly ball. Here come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came a tumble to break up the belly ball. Up jumped the Swaggy and grabbed him with glee. As she sang and she shoved, the jumbucket lift up her back. Here come a waltzing Matilda with me.
Well, there's the spectacular Waltzing Matilda, the marching song of the New Zealand Sheepherders. Taurus Bulba and Big Rip Morgan will be starting out. Okay, bell time, Dave. We're off and running.
All right. Yeah, one of our least requested songs there, Waltzing Matilda.
Well, we do have a lot of requests, and that is that they quit singing.
Don't sing it,
son
yeah.
of a gun. Okay, Taurus Bulba in with Ira Reese. Haven't seen Ira in quite some time. He looks in very good shape. He never was blessed with being the biggest wrestler that we ever had in the ring. For instance, the guy that just jumped in there was Big Rip Morgan, down twice, and Ira Reese getting off to a quick start. Waiting on Jonathan Boyd, who jumped up on the ring apron. Tojo comes over. Boyd picks up the flag. I don't like the looks of that. Ira Reese dumped down in the middle. I guess now that Rip Morgan dumped him pretty good, and all Boyd's going to do is wave that flag, but I never liked that situation. Ira Reese fired in. Taurus Bulba catches him in the midsection, and down he goes. Bulba drops with that big elbow. There you see all three of the Sheepherders, Morgan and Bulba, with Jonathan Boyd on the outside as Morgan. Big forearm, slam it down behind the neck. And again, Reese is put down on the deck. Referee Jerry Calhoun said, "You made the tag, get out of there," and they do. There's another tag. Reese popped over into the ropes. In the air. Slam by Bulba. Rip Morgan down over, and that should be it if he goes for it. Yeah, he does. I thought he might. Gonna want to lift him up at the end. Yeah, well, the Sheepherders, nobody ever said they were anything but tough. They come up with a victory over Reese and Tojo Yamamoto, who never got in the ring. Davey,
Yeah,
time?
minute 47 was the time.
1:47, back with more action in a moment. Dundee do a lot of things since he's been back here, and today was no exception when it comes to pulling stuff that really gets to you. One guy that's been kind of a thorn in his side has been Coco Ware.
Yeah.
They had a match down at the Coliseum, and boy, it was a dandy. Let's take a look at some of the action that happened.
Watch it, Lance. I just made the comment. I was nervous about the Guru.
Chain right there. Guru just threw Dundee a chain. Here comes Coco. Bam! Nailed him. Decked him with a chain on his fist. Calhoun down on the floor. Dundee just fires the chain back out to the Guru, and Jerry Calhoun, who was down Jesse Allen in 1, 2, and Coco kicks out. Beautiful drop kick. Calhoun is back up. Disqualification on Dundee because of the Guru's intervention. 9 minutes, 29 seconds. Here comes Mantel. Three of them have Coco down. 9:29 was the official time. Disqualification on Dundee. Dundee off the ropes right to the midsection. Coco's going to need some help. Sounds like it's on the way. Comes Hickerson. Phil Hickerson, a much-needed assist to Coco Ware. Yeah, you saw, I hope you got the 1 point in there, where they had 3 of them on Coco Ware. They had Mantel and the Guru, Mega Maharishi, and Dundee all on Coco. So Phil came out there and flat gave it to him and ran him out of the ring. Dundee lost it on disqualification. Here comes Coco and Phil Hickerson. I was pointing out that at one point they had 3 of them working on you, Coco.
Exactly right. You know, Dundee, he must be the biggest coward in town. You see, every time I get Dundee in corner, you know, having beat, what happened? Here come Dutch Mantel, here come that Guru, whatever his name is. They want to jump in the ring. Well, I'm sick and tired of it because I got a good man right here that's going to watch my back like I'm going to watch his back. So I want to tell you one thing, Bill Dundee. I don't really care nothing about being in the tag matches because I want that Southern belt, and I know I can beat you for that Southern belt. But, you know, the Southern Tag Team belts would be fine right now because you're looking at the Southern Tag Team champions right now because Monday night, Phil and myself, we're going to beat you, boy.
Yeah, you got an AWA Southern Tag Championship, Phil.
Coco would rather have Dundee by himself, and I'd rather have Mantel by myself because they've got something we want is my international belt and his Southern belt, right? But let me tell you something. You run around here at Dundee and you brag that you've got these belts and you've got them belts and everything. But, brother, let me tell you something. Monday night, after it's all over with and the fight is over with, you're not going to be wearing 2 belts, brother, because we're going to take that Southern belt away from you. Because you're looking at one thing, you got the man with the speed, and I got the power. And when you put them together, brother, we're going to do the bird all over them.
Yeah. One thing I like is both of you have had great tag experience before with other partners, so you ought to be a whale of a tag team together.
That's right. We're going to be the men of the hour. We're going to be the men with the power. We're going to be too sweet to be sour on your head, Bill Dundee and Dutch. When you get you 2 snakes, you're going to go down.
All right, looking for Hickerson and Ware together. Ought to be a doggone good tag team because you remember, of course, Coco with Bobby Eaton is one of the great tag teams, and Phil Hickerson with Dennis Condrey. They both have great experience, and Dundee and Mantel may find themselves in with more difficulty than they can expect. Let's take a look at all of the action that's coming up on Monday night down at the Coliseum. 8 p.m. is the time. And I guess one of the big things I want to draw to your attention is the fact that the December special, Eddie Marlin announced that the $3 general admission would continue through the month of December. An opportunity for you to come out there and save some bucks and a chance maybe to bring the entire family, where just maybe 1 or maybe 2 of you have been coming out there. $3 general admission with regular prices on the other tickets. December special, 8 o'clock is the start time. And if you get there at 8, you'll see the opening bout. It'll be Billy Travis going against the Spoilers. Then it's going to be Tojo Yamamoto facing Tom Branch. You'll see Flash and Justice, the big freedom fighters, going against the Memphis Vice, Jerry Bryan, Big Lou Winston. Rick Casey, that you'll be seeing a little bit later today, will be making his debut in the Mid-South Coliseum, going against Dundee's guru, the Mega Maharishi. We found out that he could wrestle last week when he went against Lawler, so that's no certain pushover right there. Fantastic will be in there with the Sheepherders and an exciting team of Fulton and Rogers going against the bigger Sheepherders, but that doesn't mean a thing to them. They've got plenty of speed to go with it, and they certainly will be in there going at the Sheepherders hard and heavy. Jerry Lawler will be facing Tony Faulk. Dundee will be over in the corner with that one, Faulk and Lawler going. The Fabulous Ones will be going against Tom Pritchard and Pat Rose, as that will be an interesting tag match. And the final bout is going to be an AWA Southern Tag Championship match when Bill Dundee and Dutch Mantel put the belts on the line to go against Coco Ware and Phil Hickerson. Opportunity for you to see lots of action, and you're looking forward to it. I am not absolutely certain. I want to check with Eddie Marlin, but I believe he added that match with Eddie Marlin going against Bill Dundee. Dundee with his hand tied behind his back and a blindfold on going against Eddie Marlin. And I think that match has been added to the Monday night action that will be taking place in the Coliseum. Remember, all of that, is that correct, Ed? It is on. Eddie just confirmed it. You better believe he has a prerogative as the promoter, and that match has been added to the card. So you'll be seeing it all. Remember, again, $3 general admission. Looking forward to everybody out there. Monday night, 8 o'clock. Be back in just a moment. Okay, let's get him in here. We're ready to go with our next big bout, and this one's going to have the superstar Bill. What now? Is it impossible to have you out here without Dutch Mantel and that whip?
I got to thinking what you were saying. People say that Dutch Mantel and Bill Dundee are bad. They don't want to do this for nobody. They don't want to do this for nobody. Well, I'm fixing to wrestle Jim Jameson. That's like wrestling Eddie Marlin, right? That's just a younger version. Now, the other thing is, Dutchman, people say that we don't do nothing for them. We do lots of things for people.
What's bothering me, I don't like people calling Bill a coward or me a coward. Because you're not a coward, right, Bill?
No, sir.
And to prove that you're not a coward, what will we do for this fine young gentleman up here?
Right here today, we're going to put the Southern Belt on the line.
Yeah, this fine young specimen of American manhood standing in the ring. We're going to put the Southern Belt up.
Right. You're going to make this a title match.
Make it a title match. And you know what else we're going to do? We are going to make an interview right now for all the hearing impaired.
You know, there's a lot of people sitting out there at home who can't come to the matches and who are shut in.
That's why we're doing the title match.
Invalids out there at home. And, you know, we would like to. We got heart. We got a lot of heart. And what the heart we're talking about today is the people who can't hear good, the hearing impaired. So people that are hearing impaired, we're going to send this interview right to you. Go ahead.
Here we go. Jim Jameson.
Jim Jameson!
I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to kill you, Jameson!
So for all you folks that can't hear this, we're doing it easy for you.
For all you people who can't hear real good, this is just for you.
We have hard right. Hey, that's what.
No.
You know who I'd like to be here, man? Your grandma to see this match.
I wish my grandmother was here.
If she was, what would you say?
For what reason?
You know why I like my grandmother to be? You know what I'd say to her?
What?
I'd say, Granny, what are you doing here? You've been dead 9 years. I like that.
Will you get in the ring?
No, we're not through talking. I'm not through talking. You're looking at right here. The international heavyweight champion, the Southern heavyweight champion,
I know that,
and together we are the Southern Tag Team champions, and a lot of people are shooting after us. A lot of people want to get a hold of us. You got the fans who would like to get us. They can't do it. You got Lawler, who Dundee embarrassed like a low-life yellow dog. He can't get it done. They got fantastics around here. They got all kind of people, but they ain't gonna get it. And the two big guys walking around, Bill, when they come up here and want to go, their steroid breath like to knock me over, buddy. Now they got big muscles, but when they throw those weights don't fight back. Okay. We fight back. We ain't afraid of nobody. I think we can whoop everybody in this whole state.
When you stand out here and say you can do something you don't do it, it's bragging, right? Well, I'm fixing to get up in the ring and whoop Jim Jameson, and that ain't bragging.
Okay. Bill Dundee. And please keep the whip tied up there, will you? Okay, Davey, let's have the introduction. This is a Southern
Heavyweight Championship match
that's
here.
right.
All right, but it is going to be 15-minute time limit, television time limit, one fall 15-minute time limit. Introducing from Memphis, Tennessee, at 216 pounds, now the challenger for the belt, Jim Jameson. And going against him, the Southern Heavyweight Champion from Australia at 224 pounds, the superstar Bill Dundee. This Southern Heavyweight Championship match, one fall 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Okay, we're off and running with a match in which Dundee goes behind Jameson, takes him down.
You watch this match, Lance. This is like sending what they used to do back in Rome. They'd sent those people to the lions. Now you watch Dundee, experienced veteran, in shape, tough, a ring veteran, wise in the ways. Jameson, he's coming along, but he ain't quite there, and the question remains, will he ever get there? Now you see Dundee, complete control, and you see when you control the head, you control the body. I guarantee you right now that Jim Jameson is sucking wind. Look at there. Humiliating. Dundee is going to humiliate this Jameson.
Dutch, nobody ever said Dundee couldn't wrestle and never said you couldn't wrestle, but it's the things you guys do that are so unnecessary.
Now, let me tell you one thing, Lance. You're a lot like Howard Cosell, and Howard Cosell got fired. The same fate could happen to you. Just watch the match and call it exactly how you see it. Look at that power slam. Now, if he ain't sucking wind now, they ain't a cow in Texas.
Dundee picks him up and slaps him right in the face, Dave.
Yeah, Dundee, very confident of his ability to pin Jameson, I think, just whenever he wants to. I got to point out to you that Jim Jameson may have gone against the toughest competition of any single wrestler around here. I'll guarantee his one-loss record will nowhere near stack up against Dundee's, but he has been a wrestler against major league competition many
times. What are you saying about a wrestler in one-loss competition? I want to hear this. I walked in the ring and I missed it.
Talking about Jim Jameson, I'm saying his one-loss record will not match Dundee's by any stretch of the imagination, but he has been against major league competition.
How are you going to get to the top in the world of professional wrestling if you don't go to the top and try it? You got to make a stab at it.
About making a stab at it, I think Jameson just
pretty good stab right there, Dave. Knee to the midsection. Dundee puts him into the middle of the ring.
He just got lucky on one move, Jameson did.
Suplex, and Jameson down. Dundee hooks him, brings him up, 1, 2, 3. He got him.
I am always right.
Well, Dutch, that was not one of the great predictions of our time that Dundee was going to beat Jameson. Oh, good night. Out on the floor goes Jameson. Dundee hit him when his back was to him as he was talking to Dutch Mantel.
Totally unnecessary. Boy, Jameson's trying to get out of the ring, and Dundee plowed into him from behind and knocked him through the rope. Jameson headed back to the dressing area now. Dundee and Mantel climbing out of the ring. 2 minutes 17 seconds was the time, and the winner of the match still the Southern Heavyweight Champion, the superstar Bill Dundee.
Okay, so Dundee backed up his brag. Big deal. That you know, I don't want to put Jim down, but good night. Dundee is just known to be in a so much better caliber. And Jim was in there trying with everything he had. And, of course, it's going to intimidate you to have somebody like Dutch Mantel out there with that stupid whip walking around. We're going to see if right now we can get Steve Kern out here. Here he comes. Steve of the Fabulous One and his partner Stan Lane. I got my hands full here, Steve, just a minute. Before we get into talking to Steve, you wanted to have a moment to say out here, I wanted to bring this to the attention of the people that I think is one of the neatest packaging jobs. Hey, see what it says right there? Steve Kern. Okay. All right. How's that? Okay, these are Stan and Steve, the Fabulous One dolls, and they're available at all the better toy counters around. And we hope they do very, very well with that, Steve. That's good. I love that, man. That's a great little pair.
Isn't that an honor?
Yes.
To me, that's a great honor to have something cast like that after you. You know, it's a privilege to have it out here, but something maybe I can hand down to my grandchildren if I ever have any.
Okay, and you got the AWA shield that's going to be there as a souvenir in that pack. Let me set this down. Okay, now back to some other different kind of business.
Okay, Lance, you know, I'm out here. I've got interview time, and everybody's wondering probably where Stan is, but being the holidays, we finally reached the time where we can possibly go home and get to see our families again. And Stan's home with his family having Thanksgiving holidays. And I just want to say, you know, everybody's probably wondering what's happening with the Fabulous Ones, because it seems like they're not really fired up anymore. They're not really into what they're doing. But you know something? We got out there with a team last week, Pat Rose and Tom Pritchard. And when we went out there, we went out there a little bit lighthearted, thinking, well, we'll just take our time and we'll go out there. You know, I'm going to tell you, Lance, it never fails when I come out here. I swear, I must have something about me that just draws women out here, or just draws somebody to come out here and slap at me. No?
Sherry, what is it?
I want to talk to this pretty boy here. Hey, Steve Kern, where's your pretty boyfriend? I got a bone to pick with the both of you guys. Where's he at? Go get him. I want him here right now.
My friend doesn't happen to be here today.
He's not here. He's not here?
No, he is not here. That is exactly right.
I'm going to show you gorgeous. I'm going to show you pretty. Pat!
Fabulous Ones had a match with Rose and Pritchard. And this is Sherry Martel. Oh, boy, look at here.
Now they are to be known as the Heavenly Bodies.
Is that what the new handle is, the Heavenly Bodies?
You better find anybody any better.
With the gold robes and the gold glasses, heart-shaped. The Heavenly Bodies, Pat Rose and Tom Pritchard with Sherry Martel. Well, I hope you're impressed, Steve.
Well, she might be calling them Heavenly. I'm not so sure they're Heavenly. I want to know, Sherry, did you make these outfits for these guys? Are you the one that stuck them in me? And by the way, Lance, is this not my interview time? Is it just not? You know, I've never been out here where I can't be interrupted.
One more thing. Where did you say Stan Lane was?
I said Stan Lane was on vacation.
Pat Rose with that belt, and they're whipping on Steve Kern as Tom Pritchard holds him. And down goes Pritchard. Look at Kern. Hightailing it. Rose and Pritchard, along with Sherry Martel. Steve Kern sent him on the road. Good night. They not only come out and interrupt an interview, two of them jump you when they think Stan is not around somewhere and he's off on vacation in there, Steve. Typical of the kind of action that the Fabulous Ones have had to face.
Let me tell you something, Lance. I started to say something when she came walking out here. It seems like I can't come out here on this set without somebody either trying to horsewhip me, hit me with a board, hit me with a chair. What is the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is no confidence. Every team in this area is trying for one thing, and that's to wear a belt. And they'll stop at nothing to do it. You want to know what I think of the Hollywood beautiful guys? Let me tell you something. I got a promise. I got a promise for you, Sherry Martel. I'm not beyond slapping a woman. And if you come to that ring, if you get anywhere near that set, I'm going to take it. I'm going to punch your lights out, Sherry Martel.
Okay, Steve Kern, I can't say that I blame him for being upset. We're going to take time out, and we'll be back with more action in the ring, I hope.
Okay, the
entire action coming up Monday night at the Coliseum will include that one-hand and blindfold match. Coming out right now, some of the guys. Tony Faulk is out here.
You know, Russell, sometimes you just grow up in the morning and you're just a nobody. Then when you go out and you whoop somebody, you're a star, right? We're fixing to make us a star.
It takes one win is all it does to turn a career around.
Talk to my man.
Right, let me tell you what's happening. You know something, when I was a kid growing up in Paducah, Kentucky, I used to watch this guy, Jerry Lawler, wrestle, and I thought he was a real living legend. I thought he was real good, you know? But since Bill Superstar Dundee came back in here and beat the guy, seems like all he wants to do now is cry. He's a big crybaby. He's always crying to Eddie Marlin about something, crying about this, crying about that. Well, let me tell you something. I came here to make a reputation for myself, and I'm going in the ring with the Monday night in Memphis, and I'm going to beat Jerry Lawler right there in that ring, in that Coliseum, and after I do, Superstar and I, we're going to put this big old diaper on him right there in the middle of the ring.
We've added the stipulation.
See what a crybaby is.
It's a baby diaper match, baby. Whoever gets pinned, going to lay down there. We put the powder on, we paddle you behind, zip up the diaper, and you walk to the back with a diaper on it. And this man's fixing to become a legend.
Right.
Now, that's the first thing we're going to do. Now, the second thing is, Dirty Dutch Mantel and the Superstar, they're going to wrestle Coco Ware and Phil Hickerson. Great.
That's right. Hey,
Both
titles
great
on the line.
That's right. They are great athletes. One's a great big athlete. The other one's shorter than me, and that's short, Jack. Well, you ain't going to do nothing. You ain't going to do nothing but look at their belts. Because I got to beat you, Coco, or he's going to beat Phil Hickerson, or I may beat Phil Hickerson, he may beat you. But we going to win, Lance.
Well, that's what the whole match is going to be about, to find out who comes out the Southern Tag Champion.
Well, we're going to give them a chance, and one chance is all they're going to get. They got a lot of crybabies around here, but when you cry and you finally get a chance, you need to come in there and do something about it. Like I said, we're not cowards. We'll stand up to any man in this whole state. We don't care. But we... Levi Garrett. You want some?
No,
You want a chew, Lance?
No, thank you, Judge.
Because when I'm in a happy mood, I like to get a good chew out like this.
Get your mouth on that,
because I'm going to tell you something. Then Eddie Marlin comes out and says, if you don't sign this, I'm going to fire you, Dundee. Well, Eddie Marlin, you ain't going to do nothing, because I'm going to take this left hand and tie it behind my back. Then they're going to put a blindfold on his pretty face, and that'll make us even, because he's a little old crippled arthritis old juk. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Marlin. I'm going to beat your brains out. It don't make no never mind.
Okay, we'll find that out, too. That has been
Real
added.
funny with a diaper wrapped around him.
Yeah, well, don't forget it works both ways. The loser gets the diaper put around him. Davey, we got action out of town.
We sure do. We're going to tell you about it in just a moment. First, though, I want to remind everybody of the Jerry Lawler Show coming out tomorrow, 11 o'clock here on TV5. Special show tomorrow. I think one you'll enjoy. Eddie Marlin will be Jerry's guest. I'm sure he'll have quite a bit to say about the action of the last couple of weeks involving Bill Dundee. Dundee will also be there, so we'll get both sides of that on the Jerry Lawler Show. And also, something special. Maybe you've heard about it. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, on NFL football on NBC and TV5. Ahmad Rashad, who used to be a great football player and is now a commentator for NBC Sports, proposed on the air on live television to the woman who plays Bill Cosby's wife, Felicia Ayers Allen. And her response was also live on television at halftime of the football game. And we will show you what the outcome of that proposal was. Or we won't. Jerry Lawler will tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Like fun tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be an interesting show. Hope you'll be watching tomorrow. Coming up, championship wrestling action in Blytheville, Arkansas. Friday night, American Legion Arena is the place. Tickets are available right now. The King will be there. Coco Ware is on the card in Blytheville, Arkansas.
Fun in both places, as a matter of fact. We hope maybe you'll take advantage of what you can. Speaking of the Jerry Lawler Show, let us bring out the King right now. Oh, they're proposing some evil things happen to Jerry Lawler come Monday night.
Lance, I've heard of a lot of stipulations in my day, but this is one of the, I guess it's just a classic. I don't know. Now, I heard, first of all, I hear Tony Faulk come out here and say that, he used to watch me wrestle when he was a little kid, right? He looked like he's about 60 years old himself standing out here. He's trying to tell me how young he is. Now, let me just say this, Lance. I remember back, do you remember when, what was the team? The Kangaroos were here years ago?
Sure.
Okay, there was Al Costello and the Kangaroos. They used to have a manager named Crybaby George Cannon.
That's right.
And somebody, back then, they had a stipulation in one of these matches where if the Kangaroos lost the match, they were going to put a diaper on crybaby George Cannon. Now, granted, he weighed about 400 pounds, and he was a big, fat jerk. Well, anyway, they beat the Kangaroos, and they did put the diaper on him. And after that, that was the last time that he had the audacity to show his face in Memphis. Well, Tony Faulk, I can tell you this. I saw George Cannon have to lay down in the middle of the ring and get a diaper put on him right there at the Coliseum, and that is exactly what is going to happen to you. Now, he went to the promoters. He came up with this idea, well, it's going to backfire on you because you're going to feel so stupid when you're laying there and they powder your behind and put that diaper on you, and then you stand up in front of about 8,000 people and walk around that Coliseum, brother. And if you think that I'm a crybaby, and if you think you can beat me, well, you're going to have another thing coming down there Monday night, punk. Because I'll tell you one thing, I didn't get the name of being the king around here for nothing. I'll knock you so high in the air you'll starve on the way down, punk. And that's a promise. You be there Monday night, because you're going to come in wrestling tights, and you're going to leave wearing a diaper, I can guarantee.
Okay, Jerry, good luck. I tell you, some of these guys forget the fact that it's a two-way street. They get these great ideas of what they're going to do to the king or somebody. They forget it's a two-way street. It will be on. The baby diaper match is exactly the rules that will be on that match coming up Monday. We got more action. Be back to it. We'll introduce you to Rick Casey in just a moment.
Okay, we're ready to go with our next bout coming up in just a moment, and we'll be looking at a wrestler out of San Antonio, Texas. Our first appearance of Rick Casey hopping up into the ring. Davey?
All right, one fall, 15-minute time limit match going against him at 228 pounds from parts unknown, the Red Shadow. And introducing from San Antonio, Texas, 227 pounds, Rick Casey. This match, one fall, 15-minute time limit. Referee over in the corner, Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, Rick is pulling off the outer garments and will be ready to go. Rick comes in here with quite a reputation. This guy is a rough, tough Texan out of San Antonio. He is the cousin, Dave, as you know, of Scott Casey that we had on Championship Wrestling some time back.
Yes, indeed. Got quite a reputation coming in. Maybe you've seen the video. Riding horseback through the Texas plains. And now you're getting a look at him firsthand. There he is over on the right of your screen talking about Rick Casey. San Antonio, Texas is where he calls home. Red Shadow wrestling under a mask. Casey with a headlock. Shadow trying to get back to his feet. Casey stays with him, still got the headlock, but look out, the Shadow fires him into the ropes. Casey steps over, sets with a shoulder, and shoves the Shadow down to the mat. Good balance by Rick Casey. Red Shadow. Forces him back onto the ropes. Referee Jerry Calhoun is there, gets in between them, gets them separated. Again, back on the ropes, and again, referee Jerry Calhoun steps between them, but the Shadow using the right hand and a chop. Oh, upper arm. Casey goes down hard, but he bounces, goes for the ropes to get back on his feet. Shadow helps him up. Shadow seeing the opportunity. Reverse neckbreaker by the Red Shadow. Going for the cover. One. Rick Casey kicks out of it at the 1 count. Boy, danger there for Casey. The reverse neckbreaker. Get a good one on somebody. Not many wrestlers get up from that before a 3 count has fallen, but Casey did it. He was able to kick out at the count of 1. For one thing, the Shadow a little bit slow about making the cover. That might have given Rick Casey just that extra moment he needed. Red Shadow grabs Casey by the arm, flings him into the ropes. Knee lift by Casey coming off of there. Good move. And again, a smart move is Rick Casey keeping his wits about him as he went flying into the ropes. Return in the face. Whoa! Red Shadow tried to reverse it. Didn't work. Casey broke away. He was almost sent flying into the turnbuckles. Catches himself, flips back, lands on his feet, and boom, upper arm. He bulldogs him across the ring. Cover might be at 1, 2. It is it. 2 minutes, 41 seconds. Rick Casey. Impressive debut here on Championship Wrestling.
Boy, I got to tell you, this guy not only is rugged, good athlete, he is some kind of gymnast, too. He hit those turnbuckles. Look at this. Up on it. Complete flip over. Puts himself in position to drive right in. Nails the Red Shadow. And I mean, I'm here to tell you that he got him, bulldogged him right straight down. Flipped him over, hooked him, and got a 1, 2, 3. The winner, once again, was Rick Casey. Mantel's is coming out. Tommy Rogers, Bobby Fulton, the Fantastics.
Behind it. Boy, the fans love them, man. With good reason. They have really looked good.
They discovered gold when they got together, didn't they?
Boy, they did. What a tag team they are. Give away size many times when they step in there, but doesn't seem to make much difference. They've got all the tools they need to be champion wrestlers. They're proving it.
They lay down a couple of impressive double drop kicks when they get somebody going. All right, fine, Bobby. We're ready for the action, and I think tough veteran Dutch Mantel. All right, Tommy, good luck to you up there. Tony Faulk and Dutch Mantel, and we're ready for the official introduction.
All right, it's going to be one fall, 15-minute time limit. Introducing at a total weight of 461 pounds from St. Louis, Missouri, Tony Faulk. From Oil Trough, Texas, Dutch Mantel. Going against him at a total weight of 449 pounds. From the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California, Bobby Fulton, Tommy Rogers, the Fantastics. High five. There's referee Jerry Calhoun. We're set to go with a one fall, 15-minute time limit match. They got the crowd going. Sounds like the football players complain about the King Dome being so loud. That's the way it sounds here. Nice and loud. Crowd into it. Whoa, Dutch Mantel. This should be a good match here. Dutch Mantel. He's a wrestler. He's a street fighter. He makes no bones about it. Whoa. Look like Bobby Fulton could do some street fighting, too, if he has to. Right fist doubled up. He's warned about it by the referee.
Rogers and Fulton have this advantage, Davey. They've worked together so much recently as a tag team since they became the Fantastic. Mantel and Tony Faulk do not have that kind of a background. They may not work as well together as a team that has been around. Faulk, of course, no different than a lot of guys, has size on Fulton and Rogers. Tommy over the top rope. Here he comes, right over on the arm.
Hair pulling by Tony Faulk. Yanks Tommy Rogers back into the corner. He nailed him with a fist, wraps up the left arm. Rogers reverses him into the turnbuckle. With a monkey flip out of there, and Tony Faulk hits hard in the center of the ring and says, wait a minute.
That Rogers has a unique way of reversing that whip across there, Dave. He'll wait till he's released almost, and the guy thinks, boy, I'm going to slam him into those turnbuckles. And Tommy has the ability to reach out, grab a wrist, reverse it, and slam his opponent in. Quite an action.
Bobby Fulton dropping down off the middle rope, right across the upper arm. Oh. Mr. Faulk has not had much success, first against Tommy Rogers and now against Bobby Fulton. he would very much like to make a tag on Dutch Mantel, but he can't reach the corner.
Well, I think Rogers and Fulton both are wise enough to know that the guy to keep in there is Faulk and not Mantel.
They make the tag. Here's Tommy Rogers. Fulton holding him down. And Tommy dives into the arms. Hair pulling by Faulk. That's the way he gets over to the corner and gets the tag on Dutch Mantel. The Dirty Dutchman in here against Rogers.
Again.
Just what you talked about as Rogers reversed it by grabbing that wrist. A rolling head scissors, flying head scissors, rolls him down to the mat. And Dutch wants timeout. He wants to talk to the coach.
Well, Mantel is not used to that kind of treatment. Dutch is a very fast wrestler himself. And to have somebody outspeed him comes as quite a shock. Uh-oh. He slowed that down, though. The momentum has changed, but not for the crowd.
Oh, looked like he was going to put him into the ropes, and he just smacked him and dropped him in his tracks. Tommy Rogers trying to get back to his feet, but Tony Faulk in immediately after the tag. Now Faulk, with renewed confidence, goes to work on Tommy Rogers. He took quite a beating from Tommy when he was in there earlier, but now Faulk feels like his team's got the momentum. Tommy Rogers trying to take it back. Dutch Mantel with a handful of hair, trying to keep him back in the corner so Tony Faulk can continue to work on him. Faulk makes the tag. The dangerous Dutch Mantel back in the ring.
Oh, there's a snap suplex from Dirty Dutch as he popped Rogers down. Gets a 1.5 count. Actually, Rogers had kicked out before the count of 2 ever sounded off the mat. Oh, what a move, huh?
That's that same move. Count of 2. That's all he got. Count of 2. His shoulder came up. 1, 2. This time he kicks out of it. Yeah, it looks like, and I think the wrestler thinks he is about to be whipped into the ropes, and suddenly you run into a brick wall about 6 inches in front of your face.
Faulk drops down with the lower leg right across the... oh! Tommy Rogers saved it by a split fraction of a second, I'll tell you. Faulk waiting on a backdrop. Rogers drops with the elbow, and Bobby Fulton having a fit trying to get his partner over there to make the tag. There it is.
Bobby Fulton doing good work, but in trouble. And Tommy Rogers coming back. Everybody in the ring. For a minute, it looked like it was going to be 2 against 1. Faulk and Mantel against Fulton. Now Mantel's back out. Whoa, look how he pulled down the rope and over the top rope. Goes Bobby Fulton. Referee did not see that move. Otherwise, it would have been disqualification. Here's Taurus Bulba. The sheep herders out here. And with the interference, a disqualification has occurred. The Fantastics are going to get the win, but it's about, what, 5 against 2 in there right now.
Mantel with Rogers tied up in a rope. Faulk comes over. Now the sheep herders on Bobby Fulton. Taurus Bulba, Rick Morgan. Here comes the Freedom Fighters. And they fill up the ring by themselves. Everybody else splits. Call for 2 disqualifications. Yeah, you won another one. You did not. It was a disqualification, right, as the sheep herders came in. But even prior to that, Mantel pulled that top rope down, and that's what made Bobby Fulton go over on the floor. That could have been a disqualification if the referee hadn't been tied up in the opposite corner.
Yeah, the time on it was 5 minutes, 50 seconds, and everybody going against the Fantastics. But then did you notice when the Freedom Fighters arrived, it was like someone said the bus is leaving. Everyone left.
Time to go. And that's what we've got to do. We'll take time out, and we've got Pritchard and Rose that'll be back in action in just a few minutes.
see Pritchard and Rose in action out here in just a moment as we've got a final tag match that'll be coming up, expiration of time style. Coming back, the winners by disqualification, the fantastic Bobby Fulton, Tommy Rogers.
Mr. Russell, I want to say something right now to all the people out there and all these great people right here. We really appreciate the support you've given us, and without you, we'd be nothing. But I'd like to say something right now directly to you, the sheep herders. It seems like, Mr. Russell, every time me and Tommy step in there and try to climb the ladder, we've got 4 and 5 guys jumping in, just like what happened there. Dutch Mantel, Tony Faulk, and all 3 of the sheep herders, brother. Well, let me tell you something. This time it's going to be different, because the Fantastics, me and Tommy have talked about it, and we've asked 2 very good friends of ours, the Freedom Fighters, right here, to come on down ringside. So, sheep herders, when you're in that middle of that square circle with the Fantastics, brother, you better bring all you can. And if anybody wants to jump in, come on down, because these 2 guys are going to be right along ringside with the Fantastics.
Got some pretty good security right there, Tommy.
Just like the sheep herders, you know, you come running down here. We had these 2 guys in the ring wrestling a perfect wrestling match, and you had to come down and interfere. It was like 6 on 2. Well, that's okay with us now, because we got 2 that'll stand right behind us and come straight ahead at you guys. So, sheep herders, anybody else, you come on down, and we'll get the job done.
Okay, well, good luck to you guys in it. We're looking forward to seeing that, and I know that you're going to have some good protection with the Freedom Fighters by your side, Bobby.
Well, you know, Mr. Russell, I want to say one more thing. You know, a couple weeks ago, John the Boy come out and said it was a fluke, us beating them there, that time in the ring in about 30 seconds. Well, it was no fluke. We proved it to you. Last time we got in the ring with you, we beat you 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to bring in a bunch of guys. Well, this time it's going to be different, brother. We want everybody to fire it up, because the Fantastics will be fired up when we get down there, brother. Come along.
I love it. All right, we'll see them all in action at one point or another. Let's go now for our next bout, as we have got a expiration of time match coming up. Let's go back to Dave, and we're ready.
All right, one team is now stepping up under the ring apron and into the ring. David Haskins. Hadn't seen David in a few weeks. David, a young wrestler with a young partner in Keith Eric. Both of them have both been around here before. Both have wrestled with various tag team partners, and are teamed up here today against the team. Well, they have all kinds of...
Whatever your name is, I don't want to call you Mr. Lance. I appreciate it. You would announce them, the heavenly bodies. Pat Rose is still the most gorgeous man I've ever met, the love of my life. So will you please announce that, right?
It shows, Sherry. We certainly will. Okay, Dave.
Resplendent in their full robes in the ring right now. All right, this match to the expiration of time, introducing at a total weight of 441 pounds, both from Memphis, Tennessee, David Haskins and Keith Eric. And going against them at a total weight of 450 pounds, with Sherry Martel in their corner, the Heavenly Bodies.
That's
Tom
what she
Pritchard
said.
from Houston, Texas, and from Pensacola, Florida, Pat Rose, who Sherry Martel says is, what, the most beautiful man in the world.
Beautiful man, as she knows. Yeah, that's Pat Sweetie, and she is sometimes not so sweet.
That's true.
Quite a wrestler in her own right. You know that, Dave.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, championship caliber women's wrestler. Sherry Martel over in the corner of Pritchard and Rose. We're ready to go. Jerry Calhoun is the referee. And they had a new pair of sunglasses out here. Steve Kern broke one pair, and they had a different pair. Right now, business at hand is David Haskins for Pat Rose as we are underway.
I hearken back to the moment of Steve Kern out here after being jumped by Pritchard and Rose. He made the comment, and brother, let me tell you, he meant it. He said that Sherry Martel mess around on a match that he's in. He's not above reaching out and just knocking her lights flat out.
Well, as we've said, she's quite a woman's wrestler in her own right. So she better watch herself, I guess, when she's around Kern and Stan Lane too, the fabulous one.
David Haskins had a side headlock. He was trying to mare Pat Rose, but Rose, stocky as can be, he set against him. As we're checking our time down here on this expiration of time match, and David goes up top of the top wrist lock.
Tag made by Pritchard and Rose. Tom Pritchard coming in. Pritchard, product of Houston, Texas. David Haskins, rammed into the knee, and the knee pad or brace that Pat Rose wears on the right knee. He wears one on both knees, but it was the right knee that Haskins was thrown into. Woo! A suplex right over the top. Tag made. Pritchard back in. Time time winding down here for this fall.
Big elbow puts David Haskins down as Keith Eric is trying to get a tag. And there's a win. Big slam by Pat. Tag on Tom Pritchard. He's coming off the rope. Oh, good. Nice. Right across the knee. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be it. Oh.
2 minutes, 9 seconds. Pritchard and Rose with a win.
Devastating. I can tell you that for a fact. Held him out there across that knee and dropped. Bang. Hit him right smack across the face and his shoulders and just drove him down across the knee. Pritchard and Rose are going to come up with a victory as that first fall goes to the Heavenly Bodies. We'll take time, check our watches, and we'll be back in just a moment. Office, of course, at the Ticketmaster locations will be all open today, but the Coliseum will be open on Monday, so you can get your tickets in advance, as usual, for the Mid-South Coliseum Wrestling. Hey, don't forget that the entire month, and that obviously is going to affect Monday night, will be $3 general admission. Be certain that you take advantage of that and come on down, getting your tickets at Ticketmaster or at the Coliseum starting on Monday. We've got a big night of action, including Billy Travis going against the Spoiler. Tojo Yamamoto faces Tom Branch. The Freedom Fighters in a scrap with the Memphis Vice. Then it'll be Rick Casey going against Gundy's Guru. Fantastics will be facing the Sheepherders. Boyd will be in the corner of Bulba and Morgan. But don't forget the Freedom Fighters will be over in the corner of the Fantastic. Jerry Lawler will be involved in a bout with Tony Falk. Dundee will be in the corner. That'll be a baby diaper match, and one of them's going to walk out of there with a diaper on. Fabulous one. Stan and Steve will be facing the Heavenly Bodies, Tom Pritchard and Pat Rose. And then an AWA Southern Tag Championship match with Bill Dundee and Dutch Mantel going against Coco Ware. Phil Hickerson, the title on the line. And don't forget the extra added match that will be taking place. That'll be the bout with promoter Eddie Marlin going in there against Bill Dundee. But Dundee will have one hand tied behind his back. He'll also have a blindfold on. And that will kind of even things up and give Eddie an opportunity against Bill Dundee. That's the action Monday night. Be looking for you to be down there at the general prices of $3 for general admission, regular prices on the other tickets. Okay, we've still got another fall to go in here. Before we get to it, the Sheepherders will be going against the Fantastics if we can get them in here. If not, let's get in the ring. And here comes the Sheepherders out here right now. Their match against the Fantastics will have one added thing. There won't be a lot of people jumping in there because the Freedom Fighters will be in the corner of the Fantastics.
Everybody's been looking at the bloody Sheepherders and saying, are they as good as they were when they first come here? Well, there's one difference. I'm backing out of the ring because we're training Taurus Boomer to take care of business. And Fantastic, you're just lucky. You come into an area and you get in there and all the girls love you and you're on a big high and you get in there and you go really great for a little while and you have got to win above the bloody Sheepherders. But you remember when you drop kick Taurus Boomer in the back and you beat him in the ring with outside? Well, that's desecration. And now you're going to pay for it. And we don't care if the Freedom Fighters are going to be in the bloody corners or not, because they're nothing but steroids from Muscle Beach, California. And steroids are no good in this business because it takes toughness and it takes the bloody Sheepherders to get down. That's right. Fantastic. This time, we're going to make an example of you because we're going to go out there, and if we have to, we're going to beat your bloody head in. And I guarantee you that. Lance Russell, we are just sick and tired of everybody saying the Sheepherders were the greatest, the Sheepherders were the toughest, and now they think the Fantastics are. The fabulous ones couldn't do it, Fantastics, and you're not going to do it. You're going to need your little girlfriend to help you. And I'm going to, I really wonder about these bloody big guys from California. Are they or are they not?
You may get a chance.
Are they or are they not friends of Rock Hudson's?
Okay, let's...
Are they friends of Rock Hudson's?
All right. We got more action coming up. Okay, Jonathan. We'll be into the ring right now. You'll see the Sheep Herders and the Fantastics as we get ready for fall number 2. Davey?
All right. First fall history here. Pritchard and Rose won it in a little over 2 minutes against this team right here, David Haskins and Keith Eric. Check out Pritchard and Rose, Heavenly Bodies, as they now want to be called, according to Sherry Martell, who's in their corner. Referee Jerry Calhoun says, time to ring the bell, and we are going to get underway with fall number 2. Now, in this one, Pritchard and Rose, all they have to do is not get pinned, and they win the match, 1 fall to none. But there is an opportunity here now, of course, for Haskins and Keith Eric. Here's Keith Eric's first official appearance in the match. If they can take the fall, boy, what a feather in their cap it would be to have at least a draw or perhaps a victory if there's time for another fall against Pritchard and Rose.
Yeah, Pritchard and Rose, with the kind of reputation that they've built up as a young team in a hurry, it certainly would be a feather in the cap of David Haskins and Keith Eric, and of course that's what keeps you coming back. Good night.
Boy, he smacked him.
Pat Rose working on Keith Eric, got him down there by the rope, jumps down across him as he had his head suspended across the rope.
Pat Rose tagging Tom Pritchard. They're doubling up kind of on Keith Eric over there.
We're looking at about 2.5 minutes of action time left for this second fall as Eric is whipped across the rope to the turnbuckles. Pritchard snaps him out over the shoulder down onto the mat. And, brother, I'll say one thing. Pritchard and Rose are taking care of business in there. They have really been hot and heavy after the team of Eric and David Haskins. Tag, Pat Rose.
Pat Rose in with a boot across the chin, picks up Keith Eric, got him in the air, body slams him, leaves him there, goes to the ropes for momentum, drops down, upper arm across the chest. Rose does not go for the 3 count at this point. Instead, he picks Eric up by the hair, slaps him, open-handed slap to the face. Pat Rose now with a choke in the corner. The referee trying to keep him from choking him. That's the open hand again. Rose makes the tag, and here's Tom Pritchard back. Here comes Haskins. Keith Eric got a tag on him. Well, these two mixing it up there over close to the corner of Pritchard and Rose.
Ooh. Boy, he caught him right at the throat, dropped him down. Haskins picked up center of the ring. He's slammed by Pritchard again. Pritchard and Rose have kept up non-stop pressure ever since this second fall started. They have no intention of letting a team that has not been together come in here and pull an upset on them. Took a count of 1 and picked him up. Breaks David Haskins over there, and Sherry Martell gets up and slaps him in the face. We got about a minute left in the action time as David Haskins is slammed by Pat Rose, and Rose going to the rope. Hops up on the second one. Comes off right on Haskins again. And it looks like that Pritchard and Rose got it controlled. They may horse around here without getting a second fall. They think they're having fun in there, punishing Haskins and Eric. They double clothesline him, and he picked him up.
Yeah.
We're 30 seconds away from bell time as Haskins showing he's got stuff inside. He fights back, but Pritchard nails him with a knee. And the time running down, and Haskins on the rope. Pat Rose snaps him off of that top rope. It'll be a win for the Heavenly Bodies as our time is up. All the time, and they continue to kick on David Haskins in there. They'll win it by winning the first fall. So Haskins and Eric unable to put it together in the second fall because Pritchard and Rose just flat were too good. They kept too much on them.
Yeah, you can't take that away from them. They show they are a fine wrestling team here today. Don't like all their tactics. I think you know that, but They did what they had to do to win the match, and they did not get pinned in the second fall, so they win it 1 fall to none. The time on that fall was 3 minutes, 46 seconds.
Okay, the Heavenly Bodies come up, the victors in there. Listen, a program reminder at 2:30 this afternoon on TV5. Going to be interested in seeing the first of the skin games with Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Tom Watson, and Fuzzy Zeller. Yeah. Big money. See you Monday night at the Coliseum. For Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of championship wrestling.